Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from Palpitation 9001 and says, my 21 female, boyfriend 22 male, gets so jealous over his brother's 26 male girlfriend 28 female that he cries until he vomits. And just to give you a warning before we do get into this story, it contains obsessive behavior and racism as well, so if you do want to skip it, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are always down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. And it starts. My boyfriend Jake and I are high school sweethearts and share an apartment with his brother, Finn. Finn has been seeing a woman named Bonnie for the past 3 months. They met over Tinder, and with certain restrictions lifting, we're finally getting to spend time with her in real life. She's a really great person, and she and Finn are stupidly into each other. Like accidentally finishing each other's sentences in love, staring at each other with big gooey eyes in love. It's kinda gross, but kinda sweet. A couple of days ago, I noticed that Jake's been acting weird. He's been a lot quieter and a bit colder to me, going to bed early, getting up late. I tried to kiss him and he turned away. Yesterday when Finn was out, I asked what was up with him. He started off kinda hostile, but when I said I was really feeling hurt, he blew up. Summarized, he told me he was rethinking our entire relationship after listening to his brother talk about Bonnie. He said that Bonnie asked for Finn's preference when she cut her hair and didn't get bangs when he said he thought they looked stupid when I got a pixie without asking Jake what he'd think first. He said that Bonnie gave Finn a BJ every night before bed and one every morning when he woke up, when I don't really like oral, giving or receiving. He said I never offered to give him massages or pack his lunch. For clarification, I do things for him all the time, but we've never been lovey-dovey. Don't even celebrate Valentine's Day. His suggestion. We both always agreed it was stupid and unrealistic. In fact, we always used to make fun of people for being sappy and definitely gave Finn hell for a bit over being so gooey. He was crying by the end of it, saying that he felt sick over missing out on someone who would love him that much. I said I loved him, but he didn't want to hear it. He started gagging and threw up a little bit because he was crying so hard. I didn't know what else to do, so I got him some water and went to bed. I went to work early and I've been hanging out at a coffee shop, but I have to go home soon. I have no idea where to go from here or what to say to him. I don't even know if we're still together. Help, just with all of this shit. Glum says, does he ever pack your lunch? Ask your opinion on his hair, staring into your eyes lovingly, or does he just want without being willing to give? Another user says, in a million years I would never be able to look at my partner again if they said something like this to me. I'd be out the door for good. Wonderful Atmosphere says your boyfriend is 22 and expects you to pack his lunch. You don't love him because you don't pack his lunch and give him blowjobs all the time. Go to a friend or family member's house and really think about this before proceeding. If you spend time apart, he may notice all the things you do for him. Personally, I would have laughed and left because crying over this is embarrassing. Kevin says, well, first of all, it's weird that he knows his brother gets oral from brother's girlfriend and how frequently it happens. If you found this out from his brother, then his brother is not a great guy as much as you think. Secondly, crying and bawling and throwing up about something like this, that would pretty much make me lose respect for that person. It's not even something to get worked up about to this level. And if he really insists on having a girlfriend like this, then he needs to break up with you and find such a girl. Caroline says, frankly, your boyfriend sounds like a loser, and I don't even know where you'd want to be with him. His behavior is that of a child. Got so upset he cried and threw up because you got a pixie cut and won't pack his lunch. My question, what is he doing for you? Because it doesn't sound like he's doing anything. Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm with the other comments on this one. Crying till he threw up. I'm not sure I'd be able to look past the whole situation in itself, because OP cut her hair without asking him. I mean, come on now. But at some point later, OP did come back into the post and says, sorry I didn't respond to anyone's comments. I went home after posting, and by the time I logged back onto Reddit, the post had been locked. A few of you asked for an update, so here it is. I'm single. I came home and Jake was gone. Finn was there and asked if I could sit down for a bit. He wouldn't give me the exact details, but said that he and Jake had talked while I was out. He showed me a few text messages to prove it. Apparently Finn had never shared any details with his brother, but Jake had been able to hear them moan through the walls when Bonnie stayed over. Ugh, dearie me. It wasn't a bro talk or anything after all. Just a man I thought I was going to marry listening to his brother have sex through the walls. Neat. When Finn got home from work, Jake tried joking about it and made comments about Bonnie's race. Finn kicked him out and now Jake is going to be staying with their parents, so have to pay his share of the rent too because Finn refuses to let him in and Jake refuses to come back. Double neat. A few people had questions, so here we go. Did Jake ever mention wanting romantic gestures? No. We actually got together because we were the only goths in school. We bonded over being against lovey-dovey stuff like that. We grew out of the edgy phase, but yeah, he always was firm. He hated Valentine's Day and women who needed roses or gifts to feel loved. Has he ever done anything like this before? Now that I think about it, yeah. He's thrown tantrums before, but never like this. Things like carry-out orders for getting his side dishes or stores running out of his favorite items always made him really emotional. Incoming TMI, why don't you like oral? Bad incident involving Jake's braces left me with some scarring down there. Like deep throating, 0 out of 10. I feel sorry for Bonnie. I don't want to know any more details about their relationship, but they seem happy. They work at the same high-intensity job. Think physical trainers or OT. She packs meal prep bento boxes for him and herself. Finn buys her flowers, fixes her car, goes over when spiders get into her apartment. Like I said, they're cute. Someone said this is fake and OP says, listen man, that's your right to believe it. Even I think it's fake and I'm the one that has to figure out how to ship 200 Funko Pops to my ex. So there you go. Myths are crazy stories, says to OP, and quoting the Funko Pops bit saying, nope, his brother can figure that shit out. That dude is no longer your responsibility. You didn't have to pay double rent. Jake can pay rent for a place he doesn't live in. You need to find a new place to live, so you don't have to be surrounded by a reminder of your past relationship. Exterminatus for Life says, and quoting he had 200 Funko Pops and says, it was doomed from the start. That dude was a creepy ass dude. It wasn't bro talks at all. He was literally eavesdropping on his brother having sex through the walls and then building up some kind of fantasy about what their relationship was like. That's creepy as hell. And that's without talking about he's making racist comments when he was called out, throwing literal tantrums. And I would have said to OP, now you're free. You don't owe him any rent money, and honestly, I'd let Finn be dealing with those shipping those Funko Pops. It's simply not your circus anymore. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now, our next story is a simple Am I the Arsehole story. It's from a deleted user. It was suggested over on Twitter. There's no update and I'm not sure if there will be one on this one, but it's titled Am I the Arsehole for making my sister's gender reveal cake grey because she wouldn't tell me the gender. I, 23 male, bake as a hobby, and I'm actually pretty good at it. Like, I get paid under the table for weddings and baby showers kind of good. My sister is pregnant and wanted me to make the cake for a gender reveal. Cool, no problem. I asked her to send me the info so I could prep the inside classic pink or blue filling. She says, oh no, I want to be surprised too. Just make it neutral for the reveal and we'll all find out together. I was like, huh? So you want a gender reveal cake with no gender revealed? She says she'll have someone email the info to me later. That someone never did. Deadline comes and I still have no gender. So I make the cake. It's grey inside, grey outside, just full on cement vibes. I even added little fondant clouds for effect. It still tasted great, but visually, grim as hell. The reveal day comes, they cut into it and my sister looks pissed. Her husband is confused, people start murmuring. Then she pulls me aside like, why would you make it grey? That's so passive aggressive. Calmly reminded her that no one told me the gender. I literally had no data to work with. I told her I wasn't about to guess or go full improv on someone's baby cake. Now my mum says I embarrassed her in front of the family and that I should have tried harder. Tried harder to do what? Summon the gender through vibes. So Am I the arsehole for making the most neutral reveal cake in history? Edit. I actually did follow up and asked her a couple of days before the reveal if the info had been sent. And she just said something like, yeah, someone's taking care of it. I figured it was handled. I didn't want to pester her since she seemed so chill about it at the time. Independent Cat asks OP, I'm confused. Did you not take the opportunity to message as the date was coming closer to tell your sister, hey, I haven't gotten the info on the gender. Can you check on this? OP says I actually did follow up and asked her a couple of days before the reveal if the info had been sent. And she just sent something like, yeah, someone's taking care of it. I figured it was handled. I didn't want to pester her since she seemed chill about it at the time. If she really wanted the gender in the cake, she could have double checked too. I was relying on the system she had set up, and it just didn't come through. Commenter replies to OP saying, you're the one making the cake. If you can't do it because you don't have the relevant information, that's on you. Be pushy or cancel the job. Come on now. At least you could have made the cake white instead of grey. That was passive aggressive. You're the arsehole. Commenter replies to that reply saying, wrong answer, Dyer, which is the commenter. He asked multiple times but Sis refused to divulge the information. OP, not the arsehole. If he hadn't made the cake at all, then he would be the arsehole. Now grey was a little passive aggressive, but Sis wouldn't have liked my choice either. My favourite colour is bright red. I don't think a bright red iced red velvet cake would have gone over either. Edit, change the she's to he's. I just didn't read past the gender without noticing. Actually have won prizes for my pound cake and I'm a guy. Possession replies to that commenter saying, why not? Then it becomes a, I didn't know the gender ahead of the party so couldn't do a gender reveal cake, but here is a delicious red velvet cake to celebrate. Versus, here is a sad cement vibes prison looking cake because I'm choosing to be dramatic about the sister not giving any details. OK Copy says, why couldn't you have made it yellow and baby themed or something? It seems pretty vindictive to make the cake a grim cement vibes for an important event, where you'd be serving many more people besides your airheaded sister. I understand you're frustrated, but damn, that's all anyone is going to remember from that event now, which was kinda, you're the arsehole. OK Cover says, you're the arsehole. Why didn't you tell her you never received the email so you could make the gender reveal cake she wanted? Oopie says, I did actually. I told her when I dropped off the cake that I never got the email and didn't want to risk guessing wrong. She just kind of brushed it off in the moment like it wasn't a big deal until she cut into the grey cake. And suddenly, it was a big deal. Edit, I actually did follow up and asked her a couple of days before the reveal if the info had been sent. And she just said something like, yeah, someone's taking care of it. And I figured it was handled. And I was kind of leaning on the you're the arsehole in this situation. I totally get where OP was coming from, and the sister definitely did drop the ball and was a bit too blasé about the situation. But for me, when it got to the moment, like, this is for your sister. This is a special moment for your sister that you was quite happy to make the cake for. When it got to the point of actually making a decision, let's say you got your ingredients out, you could have literally phoned her in that moment and said, make a choice. I'm making it now. I need to know. Simple as that. I got quite good at that at one of my companies, making people make choices like that. Like, you either make a choice or it doesn't happen. Or do you want me to just pick yellow or something like that? A lot of people mentioning green. Green is one that people pick for when they don't want to know or something, rather than creating a grey cake. I mean, I googled grey cakes to see what they look like, and they look alright actually, but they do look a bit cementy at the same time. Cake is cake to me, you know me, right? It just came across as a bit, choosing chaos rather than just making that phone call. But again, I do understand where he's coming from with, not getting the information from the sister at the same time. I just felt like it was a bit of an easy fix. And I mean, the grey in the beginning, you'd have to mix that to get the grey colour to begin with. It's not like it took no effort. It did take effort to make that grey colour. I would have thought a normal sponge cake would have been more neutral than that. I'm going to be really interested to know your thoughts on this story. Let us know down in the comments below, and let's find another one. Now, our next story is another one without an update as yet. It's from Estrelle Trace, who says, am I the arsehole here for not inviting my sister to my wedding because she always jokes about sleeping with my fiancé? Okay, so I'm getting married in October. Small, chill, nothing crazy. Should be a happy time, right? Except my older sister. 31 female, has this thing where she constantly flirts with my fiance, 29 male, like aggressively, and it's always under the guise of, oh my god, I'm just joking, don't be so sensitive. First time she met him, deadass said, wow, you upgraded, I'd let him ruin my life too, in front of me. I laughed it off because I didn't want to seem insecure, but like, what the fuck? Then she started with the, if you ever get bored of her, you know who to call, comments. Again, in front of me. I told her it was weird and she rolled her eyes and said, I'm too uptight. She's made so many little jabs. I saw him shirtless once. Damn girl, you got lucky. If you die first, I call dibs. Too bad you got him first, lol. Like, it never ends. My fiance thinks it's awkward but tries to ignore it. He's not flirtatious back, but he also doesn't really shut it down either. Just gets uncomfortable and laughs nervously. Last weekend was the last straw. We're at my parents' house and I left to grab something from my car. Came back and heard her saying, I swear I'm not making this up. I mean, if you're having second thoughts, I'm always available. Just kidding, unless... Opie then continues like the unless was real. That's not a joke anymore. That's a goddamn come on. I snapped, told her she's disgusting and can't come to the wedding. She flipped, cried, told my mum I was being dramatic. Now the whole family's saying I'm ruining the family over a joke. And she's just always been flirty and doesn't mean anything by it. I don't even care if she meant it or not anymore. I just don't want that energy around me when I'm trying to get married. But now it's this whole thing and I'm apparently the villain for excluding her and making it a bigger deal than it is. Am I the arsehole here for uninviting her, or is this actually insane? Because at this point, I feel like I'm losing it. Ugh, we got one of those classic things where it says she's always been flirty, you know, the defense of, that's just who they are. No, it isn't. They're just choosing to ignore how wildly inappropriate your sister's behavior is just to keep the family peace. And the fact that she was doing this without you around at one point and you only walked in on it says it all, really, doesn't it? Routine academic says, not the arsehole. Why the fuck would you ever make comments like this about someone's significant other? Especially in private to him with you not around. Instead of admitting her wrong, she continues to gaslight you into believing you're insecure or overreacting. Ultimately, it's your wedding, and if she can't respect you and your boundaries, then she doesn't have to be there. Opie says, yeah, she disrespected me, and I'm her own sister. That says everything I need to know. Thank you for your comment. Seriously, it means a lot. ACM says, not the arsehole. Your sister is making a play for your fiance, and would like nothing more than to bust up your relationship so that she could have him. There is nothing wrong with you setting strong boundaries, and your parents need to have a come to Jesus talk with your sister about her behavior and stop enabling her. Aggravating says, not the arsehole, and this is a classic case of fuck around and find out for your sister. For your family members coming after you, ask them to explain the joke and why it's funny. Watch them squirm trying to explain, and if they keep hammering on, 1. Ask them if they'd be okay with their sibling/close friend saying the exact same thing to their spouse, and 2. Uninvite them too. Opie themselves does confirm later on in the post within the comments saying, thank you, I will not invite her. But now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And we're going to have another story from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit from Lovely, who asks, am I the arsehole for not waking up a tourist who overslept and missed the day trip she paid for? Hi guys, I'm 21 female, a Bulgarian tour guide who accompanies groups to Sicily. On a recent trip, one woman who was traveling alone, mid-30s, was consistently oversleeping. The first day after we arrived, we had a day trip to Etna and Taormina, for which we depart at 8 AM, as we do all other day tours. I make sure that all tourists are informed of the departure times on the bus the day before, and they also have my numbering in case they forget so I can remind them. They also have printed out pamphlets with the schedule made by the travel agency that I hand out that has the time for departure on it. All of the group was on time, except one woman. She was late by 10 minutes, which, okay, maybe she got caught up in something and was late. I excused it, then mentioned to the whole bus in the mic that I do not tolerate lateness beyond 15 minutes, at most in case of emergency, like a forgotten possession, and that I must always be called and informed in case someone is running late. Trip went by okay otherwise. The next day, this same tourist was late again by 25 minutes, almost an entire half an hour. I called her twice to no answer, and we were just about to leave without her when she came out running and got on the bus. She got lucky, as the receptionist of the hotel asked me about a missing piece of info on the rooming list and earned her some time. I reminded everyone again that I will not be waiting anymore for late tourists in the morning, and waking up on time is their responsibility. When we came back that evening, she asked me if I could make sure to wake her up on time. I reminded her a third time that I'm not responsible for waking people up. Everyone gets a printed itinerary with departure times, and I announce everything the day before. She kept saying, no, just knock on my door if I'm not out by 8:15. And I kept repeating, I really can't do that for everyone. Please set an alarm. Well, on the day we were visiting Syracuse, she didn't show up. I waited 15 minutes after the supposed departure time, called her twice to no response, then left with the bus and the rest of the group. She called me in a panic about an hour later asking where we were. I explained the situation calmly. She got angry and said that I had one job and I cheated her out of the money she paid to go on that day trip. She missed the whole day trip and was furious the next day. Later, she told the rest of the group that I abandoned her and also called my agency, leaving a bad review about me. Am I the arsehole for not personally waking up a grown woman despite warning her multiple times I wouldn't? Edit, I talked to my manager today. I was nervous at first because I was already tired of this whole shenanigans and didn't want to spend ages defending myself. So I went to him first and explained the situation before he approached me. He told me word for word, "Hun, I deleted that BS from my email as soon as I read it. Lol. An icon. There, remove the bad review." Absolutely not the arsehole, even though we've already got the edit, which confirms you're not the arsehole. Not the arsehole in this situation. You're a tour guide, not a personal alarm clock service. I mean, she could have asked a hotel to do that for her. Some hotels will do that, of course, not all. But I think you went above and beyond with the multiple warnings. You had clear communication with her and even gave her specific time frames. And all she tried to do in this situation was make it your responsibility instead of dealing with the situation herself. And I really do enjoy it when a manager has your back, just deleting that BS from the email. Nice. And the infuriating part about it as well is that, her sleep schedule seems more important than how many other people that are on this trip at the same time. It's just bloody rude. If I was one of those guests and I was sat there waiting for her, the first time it happens, it's not a big deal, right? I can wait around, but if there's a pattern of behavior where they keep taking the piss like this, it would wind me up as well. One of the commenters says the same, says, "I'm an avid traveler. I'd be angry to sit on the bus every morning waiting on someone who is chronically late. Time is money, and she'd be wasting time. If she's worried about hers, she needs to set an alarm. If she's complained to other guests, I guarantee you they weren't feeling bad for her. Not the arsehole." Ilya says, "Not the arsehole. If you were a cruise ship operator, her lack of being able to be on time would cause her to be left behind at port. Watch YouTube videos of cruise passengers who are special and think they can hold up the entire group. They get left. As long as you can document her late antics with your tour agency, you should be fine. Also, have them add language in their contracts about being late, and it's not the tour operator and guide's responsibility to wake up people and ensure they're on time." That sounds like a good video for me. I'm going to be watching a few of those afterwards, I think. Benji says, "Not the arsehole. I've taken a few overseas organized trips and I can't even begin to tell you the amount of rage that all the other people get when we're forced to sit and wait for someone who overslept or couldn't get to a meeting place on time. Selfish, entitled, narcissistic assholes who think no one else's time matters and the world is just going to wait for them. Get bent, clowns. I don't expect military punctuality, but when the tour leaves at 8 AM, you're there by 7:55 AM. Having to wait for these same selfish clowns every time gets old fast, and then reflects on the tour company for catering to them instead of the people who are arriving on time. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.